Hi students, this is Ms. Tai here. In this video, we will review questions number 108 to 111 in the 2024 SHSAT Practice Exam, Form B. Grab a notebook and pencil, and let's get started. 108. A number n is divided by 25. If the quotient is 10 with the remainder of 5, what is the quotient expressed as a decimal? So this problem is saying that n divided by 25 equals 10 remainder 5. That means n equals 25 times 10 plus 5. We just performed the inverse operation by multiplying both sides by 25. So n equals 250 plus 5, which is 255. Let's go ahead and divide 255 by 25. We know that 25 into 25 goes 1 time, 25 into 5 goes 0 times, and the remainder is 5. So typically when there's a remainder, I add some extra zeros here, and I will write the remainder right here. So 50 divided by 25 is 2. So the correct answer is choice E. Another way to think about it is if the remainder is 5, we will place that over 25 and express this fraction in simplest form. 5 over 25 simplifies to 1/5, which is the same thing as 0.2. So 2 will be the value after the decimal point. Let's continue. Number 109. The garden design shown above is created in the shape of 3 semicircles whose diameters lie on the sides of an equilateral triangle. If each diameter is 2 meters long, what is the perimeter of the garden in meters? We can see that the answer choices are showing up as integers or numbers in terms of pi. Let's label our diagram. 2 meters is the diameter. And when we're figuring out the perimeter of the garden, we will need to find the circumference of each of these semicircles. And we know that all of the semicircles are exactly the same. The circumference of a circle is pi times diameter. That is for a full circle. The circumference of a semicircle will be pi times diameter divided by 2, because a semicircle is half of a circle. Let's calculate the perimeter of the garden. So C equals pi times 2 divided by 2. That will be the circumference of one of the semicircles. And then we can go ahead and multiply this by 3. Since there are 3 semicircles. So the circumference will be 3 times 2, which is 6 pi over 2, which simplifies to 3 pi. So C is the correct answer. Number 110. Micah is playing a game with 5 cards, numbered 1 through 5. He will place the cards in a bag and draw 1 card at random 3 times, replacing the card each time. To win a prize, he must draw the number 5 all 3 times. What is the probability he will draw the number 5 all 3 times? We can use the counting principle to solve this problem. That tells us that we can simply multiply the probability of success for each of the events. So the probability of getting a 5 times the probability of getting a 5 again times the probability of getting a 5 again. And remember, this one is with replacement. The card is being replaced. So that means the probability will stay the same every single time. The probability of drawing a 5 on the first go around is 1 out of 5, since there is only 1 5 out of a total of 5 cards. Since that number 5 is replaced, the probability will remain the same. When we multiply 1/5 times 1/5 times 1/5, we have 1 over 125. This is 5 to the 3rd power. Or 5 times 5 times 5, that gives us 125. So E is the correct answer. Number 111, the speed 10 meters per second is equivalent to how many feet per hour? Use the approximation 1 foot equals 0.3 meters. Let's give this a try. So we have 10 meters in the numerator and 1 second in the denominator. Our first goal is to get hours to be in the denominator. We can start off by using the conversion that 60 seconds are in 1 minute. So we're actually multiplying by this fraction. And then 60 minutes are in 1 hour. And then the problem tells us that 0.3 meters, so we'll have that in the denominator, is equal to 1 foot. So ultimately, our goal is to have feet per hour towards the end, and we started off with meters per second. When you complete the problem in this way, you'll notice that the units are canceling out. Remember, you can cancel out anything in the denominator with anything that matches it in the numerator. So seconds will cancel out, minutes will cancel out, and meters will cancel out. And now we're left with feet in the numerator and hours in the denominator. And that is what the problem was asking for, expressing the final answer in feet per hour. Now, all we need to do is multiply the remaining numbers. So our numerator is 10 times 60 times 60 times 1. 6 times 6 is 36, and then we will have 1, 2, 3 zeros in the numerator, so 36,000 in the numerator, and in the denominator we have 1 times 1 times 1 times 0.3, so 0.3 in the denominator. We don't prefer to divide by a decimal, so we're going to go ahead and multiply both the numerator and denominator by 10 over 10. When we do that, this decimal point moves one place to the right, and we will add an additional 0 in the numerator. So we have 360,000 divided by 3. 36 divided by 3 is 12. So our final answer is 120,000. So D is the correct answer. If you learned something in this video, please go ahead and like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.